everybody, Stardust Simmer here, back with another Sims building video. Thank you for joining me today here on this, I guess, relatively short video. I don't know, my last couple videos have been like 20 minutes, so here we are with just one that's like just over 13. And I get a little bit of a break. I mean, not really. I mean, I like to yap. I can yap. Honestly, giving me a cap of 13 minutes is probably best for me and my voice and just general. But I really wanted to build a park. I've recently discovered this kind of about myself, or maybe I've just found kind of a new avenue for for landscaping, at least for myself. And I just wanted to do something where I could, buckle down and do like a lot of landscaping in comparison to the build. Because typically I'll build like a community lot or like a house, and I'll do the landscaping at the very end. And although I put in my best effort pretty much all the time, once you've been building for like 2+ hours, you kind of just want to be done. And I generally like to film things kind of all in one go. That way I have like the file is all in one. So again, by the time I get to like 2.5, sometimes it's been up to like 3 hours. I'm like, I want to get this landscaping done, but I also really enjoy doing it. It is also kind of like the motivation, like, oh, I get to finish this build and then I get to landscape. Yes. But it's kind of fun to do something where probably like half of the whole build is just landscaping. And as you can see, putting down some terrain paint. I love this kind of pebbled path. I don't know why I always associate it with like Get Together in Windenburg, but it's very much base game. And this build itself is mostly base game, and then I also throw in seasons. Only because I really wanted to get more than just like some monkey bars. And I also didn't want to put like one of those full like playgrounds, like the spaceship or the pirate ship. They just take up a lot of room. And although, I mean, it's playground equipment, I didn't want that to be like the central focus. The central focus is like, it's a pretty garden, we can landscape, and then there's still places for the kids to play. And so I've done the pebble terrain paint, but I've also done, for some reason, I put down like that orange sand. And I don't know why when I was building, like it looked normal to me. Like I had that orange terrain paint down for the majority of the time that I was building. In the end, you see, I go back, I erase it, I come to my senses, and then I just put down the regular, like, brown colored dirt. Like, the orange sand, it definitely belongs, like, in Oasis Springs, or, like, in Strangerville, or any other world that has a more, like, deserty vibe. It does not really belong in Newcrest, so I'm glad I come to my senses and I change it. We started this landscaping, those dang flower tiles. They're my favorite, man. I love them. I love to fill up the space, make some nice organic shapes, and then just throw a bunch of bushes and flowers and trees right on top. It makes everything look just so lush and fun. And that was my main goal. When I was building this, I just wanted to put down a ton of tiles. Another idea where I might get to use like these is to build almost kind of like an enchanted garden. We could use, like, I don't have Realm of Magic, and I don't have Realm of Magic is different than the fairy pack, isn't it? I'm almost sure. I don't have the fairy pack either. It like came out, I think, last year, but like the fairies, I don't have Realm of Magic, and I don't have supernatural stuff. I do have Romantic Garden, And you can really, like, romantic garden combined with a lot of the stuff from vampires, you can make a really beautiful sort of enchanted garden vibe. So I don't know how soon I'll do that because we just built this park, and like an enchanted garden, like maybe like an enchanted garden, almost like maybe restaurant or like cafe, right? Like they have a cafe and then they have these sprawling like hedge maze garden type thing. I think that could be really fun. Again, I don't know how soon I'll do that because we just did this build. Something that I have been loving, not just recently, but I'm in general. I'm a podcast girly for sure, for sure. I mean, I say that, and it's not like I'm listening to a large variety of podcasts, but the one I am listening to right now and have been for a while is the So True podcast with Caleb Heron. I don't know if anybody else listens to that. I definitely recommend. He is such a good, like, host and interviewer. He's so entertaining. And I can honestly say, like, this sounds awful, but like 90% of the guests he has on the show, I have to Google. I don't know who they are. There's gonna be like, again, like one in every 10 of his guests. I'm like, oh yeah, no, I know who that is. Or even like, oh no, I know who that is because he's had them on, like this is like the second or third time they've been on the pod. And although that sounds awful, I think it's a real testament to like how good of a, again, host and interviewer that he is, and how charming and charismatic. And he makes everything entertaining, and I love the way he converses with people, like the questions he asks. He's so insightful, and he's a comedian. He manages to make everything like really entertaining and funny. So 10 out of 10 would recommend. But the premise of the show, right? It's so true. So kind of at the end or at some point he asks his guest, "What's so true to you?" And I don't know, I'd never be on that show, but it's always like, "What's so true to me?" And I have kind of a silly one, and then I have a more serious one, but I guess they're both kind of serious, but my quote unquote silly one is, I feel like I think we all need to be backing up our cars when we're parking them, like literally anywhere. You go to the grocery store, you're going to, I don't know, you're going to the park, I guess if you have to drive to a park. You're going to the movies, at literally anywhere, going out to dinner, anywhere, I think you should be backing your car up into in the parking lot. And here's why. I understand it's scary, and I understand it takes like a couple extra seconds to do it. But picture this. You're driving, you're trying to find a space, you find a space, and you're gonna pull in. You can go like head in and it'll be fast, quick, that's normal, what most people do. But if you back up, right, you avoid having to back out of the space when you leave. Because when you're driving to the space, you can see like relatively what's going on around you. Like, are there people walking around? Is there someone walking towards you? Is there someone walking away from you? Is there like pretty much nobody around? That's the best case scenario, and then you can pretty easily pull in and then go about your day. You park and you go about your day. And then when you leave, you just pull out. If you have to back out when you leave, I mean, your field of vision is much less than if you were just like going out because you've already backed in. Does that make sense? And I know backing up is harder, generally, yes, but don't most people have cameras in their cars? And to be fair, I learned when I didn't have a camera in my car. I learned to drive in my dad's like 2011 Silverado and my mom's 2005 Honda Civic. And my first like car that was mine was a like a Nissan Versa that had like nothing. It was like the most bare bones car you could think of. The car didn't even have powered locks or powered windows. It certainly did not have a backup camera. But you know what I was doing? I was backing it up. I was backing up into those spaces and then I was pulling out when I needed to leave. It's it's possible. Not only is it possible, I feel like it's what we should be doing. If it became the norm, then I wouldn't get like, I mean, I don't think I get, well, maybe I'm not just not looking. I was going to say, I don't think I get stink eye like when I go to Trader Joe's and I back up my car. But maybe I am. And maybe I don't care. Maybe I don't care. And that's what's so true to me is that I think we should just all be backing up into spaces more. If anybody has a so true to share in the comments, you can leave them down below. Now we're getting to my favorite part. I'm doing some nighttime lighting. In case you want to come to the park at night, you can at least see what you're doing. I also, and I had not been doing this previously really, is I put rocks down, like around, like it just makes sense that there's gonna be rocks. And I purposefully didn't put any like behind the swings or really even that near the monkey bars. Because although this like wouldn't happen, I'm like in The Sims. It could happen in real life, but it wouldn't happen in The Sims. I'm like not gonna put rocks somewhere where if like the kid falls off the swings or whatever, that they're gonna hit their head and crack, and get hurt. But maybe from a storytelling perspective that might happen, but it wouldn't happen actually in the game. Thank God. That would really freak me out. I also managed to sneak kind of like what is that, like a wedding arch? And I went in and I took my Sims in and I, filmed some action shots, some cinematic shots. And it's in the summer right now in Newcrest, just so I could get like everything would be really lush and nothing would be like brown or dead. And my Sims died of heat stroke. Like one of them, like she died. It was a mom and a daughter, and the Grim Reaper came and turned her into a ghost, and I was able to like beg for her daughter's life, and she spared her, and then I quickly took them home. There they are, and I made the mom eat ambrosia, and I saved her that way. It was traumatic. If you like this video, please subscribe and like. Thanks for watching. Bye everybody.